logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades a job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or a spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's showing what her life is worth. Follow your heart and don't let go. You've got more fire than you know. Work hard, stay true, and see it through. Your double life might be the real you.
I brought a friend along, and this is why I'm late. Y'all. Hey, Pearlfriends. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Timeout Tuesday. I'm sorry I'm late. I had to go get a baby for us to admire for a little bit, and I will bring him back. This is a him. This is a little rooster. This is a kiki-riki rooster, and he's almost full grown. And I'm not making it up. So a kiki-riki is the smallest breed of true chicken that's not a game bird in the world. And this little guy is going to need our name. And like I said, he's almost full grown. He will be about half the size of our Nate. And let me just tell you, look at him stick his little, stick it back up, stick it up, make yourself big. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, he's adorable. He has a partner. His partner is very intrigued by me, like very interested in everything. Okay, hey, I'm trying to make it. I'm making a video. I'm making a video. I'm going to bring him back outside, okay? Don't leave. Don't leave. It's just too noisy. It's too noisy. He needed a friend to come with him. It's only like right out the front door, so don't leave. This is what we're drinking tonight, okay? I'll be right back. Of course, now he's quiet that I'm walking. Why wouldn't he be quiet? Okay. I anticipated him staying much longer than that. And we are going to have to name him, but he has a girlfriend too. And that's where we're going to have to go. For now, though, let's have a cocktail. It's been a minute since we've had a cocktail together on a Timeout Tuesday. And well, I feel like I've deserved it today because I sat through 14 hours of meetings. Tonight, I'm having some regular old Diet Pepsi because they were out of Pepsi Zero. Yes, there's a difference. Some vanilla rum. I also, we'll just pause here for a second, okay? Hold on a second. Cheers, y'all, to Timeout Tuesday. Okay. Oh, that's good. If you like vanilla, this vanilla rum is the smoothest. It doesn't taste like alcohol. Very dangerous. But like if you're gonna have a sipping cocktail, this vanilla rum is like almost just like vanilla syrup. I'm sure it's loaded in carbs. I do not care that it's loaded in carbs tonight. That's where I'm at today. Okay. So far this week, I've taken you on my henna paws adventure, my underground chicken railroad, crazy chicken ladies, and like I know that you're probably sick of seeing chickens, but I'm in a thing and I'm excited about it. So I'm sharing. Don't worry, tomorrow is not a chicken video, I promise. But I have spent a lot of time learning about chickens, and I held back for years living here on getting chickens. And now I'm in a place where I guess it's the We Do Not Care Club era of like, yeah, I want chickens. I'm going to go ahead and get some. I just realized that the reason I keep bending over is because I didn't put my normal thingy underneath here. So, oh, look at that. Now I can sit up straight again. We're good. Yes, the We Do Not Care Club is in full session. And I know that chickens are not everybody's cup of tea, but I love them. And the more that I learn about them and the individual things, the more I love. And also, like future planning for an offset to the cost of my hobby is to sell them and sell their eggs and to hatch them. And when I started doing this exploration, like in my first like bout of chicken life, I knew nothing. I never touched a chicken. In fact, I was mostly terrified of them as an adult. And as we raised some in Plum Grove and I got to like really know them, I fell in love. And then things got a little out of hand because I didn't educate myself on broodiness and what that meant and moms raising chicks for all and like keeping them contained. And if you keep them contained from the get-go, you have a much better situation. Not to mention that the barn in Plum Grove held all of the winter hay, which was like 3 stories of the world's greatest nest for broody hens. And if you couldn't physically crawl in it to capture the eggs, you were going to end up with chicks and lots of them. And it just between chicks and ducks and geese and everything, like it got out of control. Now, I'm not saying that I'm in control. I'm not. But I am being intentional. Intentional? I am not Longhorn Lester. I will not make up words, okay? I would like to retract that section of this video. I am being intentional about the types of chickens and the things that I want to do with them. So that was a Kiki Riki rooster who's about 8 weeks old, and he will be full grown very shortly. And his little girlfriend is about the same size as him, and I'm totally pumped because if I walk out and sit in the little halfway house, because that's where they are, they'll come up to me. And I have not made a video showing y'all all the things that I got yet, because I'm still like sorting out who goes where, and I have, this is a journey. And also kind of just want to talk about like all of that. And then I have a whole other thing that I want to dive into to discuss tonight. But the chicken path is a future for me. Lester has his longhorns and that is part of his income source. And I have learned a lot about chickens and specialty chickens, not just like Rhode Island Reds or meat birds or like big chickens that just produce eggs. No, the specialty chicken world is like, it's its own cult. I'll call it a cult, but it's not a negative cult. It's a community, and it's a collective of people who genuinely love these animals, and they breed them, which is not like dogs or things like that. They breed them because they sell the eggs and other people want to have that specific type of chicken. Some people get into showing chickens. I didn't even know that was a thing before all of this, but they do. And there's hatcheries across the world, the US, and people look for certain genes, and then there's testing to make sure that they're not prone to certain diseases, and like it's a big deal. It's people's hobbies, passions, livelihoods. Like I went to Seabreeze Hens on Sunday. Phenomenal experience. And it's their life, it's their lifestyle, it's their income, but it's also their passion and what they love to do. There's a lot of people on the internet who do very similar things. I've seen several channels. And you know what's the craziest part about it? The connection. The connection. I've been jokingly calling it the Underground Chicken Railroad. It's real. It is the most real that I can tell you. I was at Seabreeze Hens and I'm like, have you ever heard of Gulf Coast Cluckers? And she's like, oh yeah. And the color of clutch. She's like, we communicate all the time. Do you know that people are shipping babies and full-size hens and eggs all across this country? They get health certificates. Like, it's a real deal. It is a huge, huge thing. So it all started with me looking up what kind of birds Terrence and Peapat are, because they're not the same breed. They came in a bundle of babies I picked out at Tractor Supply, and I was like, they're so tiny. I want one of those. I thought they might be quail. They were not quail. Terrence is a Belgian porcelain Duclay, not Duckle, because at first I was like, he's a Duckle. It's Duclay. And Peapat is an American something game bird. She's a game bird. American something like that, I think. Anyway, I started to go down this path of like learning about them, seeing where people raise them and what they do, and it is wild yet lucrative, and people genuinely love them. And I was like, I kind of want to be that, but not on a big scale. Like, I don't want to, like, some of these people have like hatching barns where they hatch like 5,000 eggs at a time. I am not that person. I do not want to be Melinda at Seabreeze Hens. I love her. I love what she does. I do not want 3,000 plus chickens at my place at one point in time, but I would like to dabble and to continue to learn and to be a part of this. And part of my other part is I also met another woman that I did not make a video of because it was a one-on-one situation. I searched Terrence's breed, Duclay, and on Facebook, because I was like, surely some of the chicken groups I belong to, it'll teach me about this, figure out who has them, what they're for, that type of thing. They're mostly showbirds, but they're bearded, so the puffiness in his little cheeks are his beard, basically, which makes them unique. There's a couple other types of them, but they're not very common at all. They're very rare, actually, especially the porcelain type, to remain pure. So I found this lady who was only like an hour from me, and I messaged her and I was like, by any chance, do you have any eggs or any porcelain Duclays that you would be willing to sell? And she said yes. And I was like, okay, wonderful. And she goes, here's my address. Just maybe, let me know what day. I have something cat here touching my nose. Let me know what day. Anyway, we met at a feed store, and this sounds really crazy. Okay. Like I questioned myself in the middle of it. We met at a feed store. She brought me a bird, and then she and her husband invited me back to their house, which was 30 minutes away. And she goes, I would love to show you everything else that we have. And I was like, I would love to come sometime. And she goes, how about now? And I was like, okay. So it was about 15 minutes into the drive, and I was like, maybe I should share my location just in case I end up dead through this little bout here, or I don't know what's going on. They were an older couple, and I started following them, and I went back to their house. And then when we get to their house and they get out to open the gate, I was like, okay, question one more time. So I literally like made sure that my cell phone was on, letting Lester know where I was at. And eventually we get up into their driveway, and they get out and they show me their chicken world, their beautiful little hidden gem of property that has this beautiful pond. Of course, they have geese. They have a house that they built themselves, and they have all of these chicken coops, but they're not like big coops. They're little coops because they're so individualized. And anyway, so she hands me some more eggs, which are some of the ones that I'm hatching, and I start to hear their story about what they do and everything. And I thank her, and it was just a really neat experience, and it was so welcoming that I didn't know what to like, how to react, how to respond. I was so grateful for it. I was moved by it that someone wanted to show me, and that I also wasn't getting murdered, which was super great. Anyway, after they give me some eggs, one of the other things is I noticed they had this beautiful, beautiful bush of something. And I was like, is that a wisteria? And the husband goes, it's a black wisteria. And he takes out his pocket knife and he cuts some off, and then he walks in the house. And I'm like, okay. He comes back out. He has rooting things on it, and he hands me a start, and he's like, here you go. Is there any other plant around here you would like to have? And like, I don't know why I got all emotional about it. Like, here I am with strangers who I bought a hen from that are giving me hatching eggs on top of it. They don't know me. I haven't told them anything about who I am. I am a stranger that they have invited back to their house. And it was just like comfortable and neat to be able to see. They had giant Brahma roosters, which are like as big as a beagle. Like, they're huge. Anyway, I'll walk out of there with plants and eggs and the original chicken, and I'm pulling out of their driveway, and the lady comes running after me, and she's like, wait. And I was like, oh gosh, what did I hit? What did I run over? And she goes, you really blessed us today by taking the time to come out here. She goes, we live far away. We have no kids. She goes, it's just the two of us. And she goes, it was just a pleasure to have you here. And I wanted to know if we could pray for you. Y'all, waterworks like crazy, like I'm going to cry right now thinking about it. And I didn't want to come on here and cry. And, again, this is a stranger who I don't know, who doesn't know I'm a YouTuber, who doesn't know that I have a social media following. I am just a person who loves chickens. And that was it. Anyway, she prayed for my safety, told me it was a blessing to meet me that day. And then I ended up telling them who I was. And then they cried, both of them. They both must have knew that I've just like, I probably looked overwhelmed or something. I don't know. But it was sweet. They prayed for my safe drive home, and it was just a really incredible, moving moment. And that was my first chicken world experience, okay, outside of Tractor Supply. And then on my chicken journey a little bit further, I'm looking around in the chicken groups or whatever, and I had asked if anybody, in one of the groups had any porcelain duclays, and a lady messaged and said, "I don't have any porcelain duclays, but I have this other breed, and I have so many, and I know you from social media, and I wanted to know if you wanted some." She goes, "I know you're in Tractor Supply a lot." She goes, "Next time you go, I'll meet you there," which is where Lester found me. So person number 2 in the chicken world, kind, sweet, giving, gives me a few little chickens. And I like don't know how to react to this space, okay? Like at all. And I just think that it's a fluke that 2 people in the chicken space are kind. And I don't mean this in a mean way, but I've been in the horse space a long time, and the horse space is not the same, okay? So I tell Lester about it, and he's like, "That's great, babe. I guess it wasn't as moving or powerful as it was, but he didn't experience it, so it's okay." So then I make an appointment to go to Seabreeze Hens. Now, Megan has told me about Seabreeze Hens. Megan has been to Seabreeze Hens, and I went on the website, and the website just looks like every 5 minutes things are selling out because it's a very popular space. And then I go and I meet Melinda. And Melinda is in the same nature in space. And all of a sudden, I feel like this is really crazy to say that I have found my people in the underground chicken railroad space. And this is where it gets even crazier. I am telling Melinda about my first experience with the lady who prayed for me and gave me extra eggs. And she goes, "She's 2 hours away from this woman, okay? 2 hours plus away from this woman." She goes, "I know her well. She got one of her Duclays from me several years ago." And I was like, chills over my spine and like all within my body of like, it's like the 6 degrees of chickens, first of all, but the connection and the like, the good-hearted, kind people that I have met recently have just like left me feeling emotional. I none of those people owed me anything or had to do anything for me, and only one knew who I was from a social media standpoint at the time. I actually spent 45 minutes with Miss Melinda at Seabreeze Hens before I ever told her about who I was or what I did, and then told her and asked if I could make a video, and she said yes. I know that there are so many good people in this world. I know. And I know that so many of you are in the exact same, I don't even want to say box, the same community. I just feel like sometimes it's very easy to put up a wall and a guard because of some of the few things that have been jaded and happened. And that as a survivor, we're all survivors or something, but as someone who takes each bout of being a survivor a little bit more serious and starts to like retreat and become a hermit and really like get lost in her own space, I felt like I put myself out there this week and last, and that I found by chance some of the good, and it was powerful. And I wanted to share that story with you because I think that we all can get in our own space. And I think that we all can get in our own funk. And it's very easy to do that in the We Do Not Care Club. Like super easy. Whether you're in it or had been in it or anything like that, it leaves us a little bit each time. And it starts to build up like plaque in your arteries, I guess. And I think that we start to react to things differently. And I read something this week that was really profound. And I guess with all that's happening in the world and, seeing my grandparents recently and realizing that time is really finite, I really have focused a lot on my presence, how I spend the gift of time itself, being grateful for those that give me the gift of their time, but also remembering that the person that I put out, whether it be on social media, on videos, at work, to my kid, to my future grandbaby, to my family, to the world, the person that I put out there is indeed my legacy. The things that I type, whether it be in a text message, behind the scenes on a work meeting, or talking about even in a venting scenario, the things that I put out there are a reflection of me, not of anyone else. It's of me. And I want to be better, and I want to do better. And as we've gone down this path lately where things have been a little bit negative on the social media side of things, where some people don't want anything to do with chickens. They hate the fact that I'm getting chickens, or they hate the fact that the horses are here, and they just can't stand all those things. I feel sad for those people because the things that they're typing, their footprint, I'll call it legacy, that they're leaving behind, is a reflection of them. I'll just call it their resume that they've put out there of themselves. The comments that they leave. It's not a reflection of the creator that they're watching. It's a reflection of them. Their reaction. Negative, firing off, screaming, pouting and shouting and all those things. That's a reflection of who they are. Who you are. So the things that we leave behind, and in this day and age, is a whole lot of words. A whole lot of words that we type on a screen, whether it be a computer or a phone, or maybe even there's a way to leave comments when you watch from TV right now. It's a reflection of all of us who type them. And if somebody were to pull your internet footprint, your kid, somebody that wants to know about you in the future, your grandchild, your spouse, or just a random creator. Like, think about this. If there was a way that I could say, Trisha 1579, I'm making that up. That's not a real person. I made that up. And I want to know everything that Trisha 1579 said on the internet. I can already look what Trisha 1579 has said on my channel since the very first time they showed up. I can do that. I have that tool. But in the world of AI, we're going to be able to pull up what Jamie Walker said forever. That's reflective on a job in the future. It's reflective on maybe if you're in a dating situation. It's just reflective. It is so much about who you are. And I just want to be mindful of it for myself. But also to say to you all that, like, what you put out there is you. That's your tally marks. That's your story of who you are. When people go back one day to look at who Tracy, whatever number I just made up because I am part of the We Do Not Care Club and I can't remember the number. I just think it's important to remember that. Do you want to be remembered because you were so mad that you stumped your foot that you can't stand the fact that I got chickens and how I'm so dumb and such a heartless person and all of these things? No. You don't want that to be a part of your story. You want to be remembered for, I assume, for what you made people feel, for the way that others looked at you whenever you walked into a space. Were they happy you were there, or were they all like turning around and not? And I know we don't live for the way others feel about us, but I also feel like as like a reflection and looking inward, I just think it's important. And I like to call that out because we do live in a place where AI is changing everything. I have spent more time on ChatGPT in the last 2 weeks than I have with Google. I've asked for help in business. I've asked for chicken info. I've taken pictures of things and saying, "Do you know what this is?" I've tried to test it. I actually asked ChatGPT things and asked for one-word answers on really profound things. And that's just ChatGPT. There's so much more that I don't know and I'm not aware of. But I had to tell you the first part of that story to be able to explain why it's sort of just ringing in my head so loudly lately, is because the people that I have experienced in real life have reminded me how important it is to truly represent who you are in all facets of life, where you comment, where you communicate, and how you show up every single day. Don't get me wrong. We're still going to have bad days. We're still going to have bad moments. We can't all be rainbow and sunshine. We can't all always be smiling. Sometimes we'll come on and cry in front of 4,000 people. It's fine. It'll be fine. But I would like to be known for someone who people felt a light around, who people felt like they could trust, who they could talk to. I have strived to be a good listener for a long time, which is really, really hard in this setting because I can't listen. I have to talk. So, okay, that's my rant. Now I'm going to take a sip. Okay, I'm going to read a few comments here. So Rich says eBay is a hot market for fertile eggs. It very much is. And that's where some of my eggs that are in the incubator have come from. It's a bit of a gamble because you don't know how their flight went. Did they get left in a mail truck and in 100-degree heat after they froze in the airplane? We don't know. So it's going to be an interesting hatch for me with about half of the eggs that I have in the incubator. And I have several breeds in the incubator. One of them is crazy, okay? I used Google Images first of Peapat to see what kind of chicken she was, and it lied to me. And when I researched it, it looked close enough that I was like, okay, maybe she's just smaller. I didn't you don't in the pictures and things like that, like I got excited because what Google told me was that my little Peapat hen was a Ayam Ketawa, which is a laughing chicken. You may think that that's nuts. Have you heard of a laughing chicken before? Let me show you. Okay? Hold on, because your mind's about to be blown because I had never heard this before. And I got really excited because I was like, heck yeah, I've never heard Peapat laugh, but now I want to hear Peapat laugh. Hang on a second. I am. All right. Are you prepared for this situation here? You hear it? Okay. The roosters and the hens both laugh. And I got totally pumped. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I have something that I've never heard of. This is going to be so great. Wonder why Peapat hasn't made any noise yet. Maybe it's just because she doesn't have the right rooster. I don't know. So what did I do? It's midnight at one night and I found that out and I was so pumped that I ordered some hatching eggs. I'm like, well, can't find any around here. I'll just hatch my own. Turns out the Peapat is in fact not a laughing chicken at all. There are larger versions of her colors and markings that are indeed laughing chickens. And we're gonna maybe have some laughing chickens because we're hatching them. But Peapat is not that, actually. So the adventure continues. But yeah, they laugh, and each rooster has a different like decibel of crow. And the more and more I've learned about it, it's like some of them will like hyena laugh, like like that. And the hens get really high pitched. Can you imagine what Lester's gonna say about a laughing rooster? It's going to be fabulous. So fabulous. I can't wait. I can't wait. So the hunt continued for partners for Peapat. I believe that I have found some. Problem is, they're in Missouri. And I was so upset because I drove right by it on my trip to Illinois. So now I must wait until October. But the Underground Chicken Network has provided, and I got a connection, and that person's like, yeah, no problem. I have a couple hatching here, and then I'll have some, hens that should be laying by that time too. What? Is this serious? Yes. So, pretty excited about that. They have many roosters. Everybody has roosters. Also, confession, I really love the roosters. I do. I don't know. Most of them are very curious and friendly. And if you raise them from about as old as that Kiki is or even younger, then they will protect you because you are the head rooster. And that is where you get synergy basically in your flock. So anyway, I'm sorry to go down the chicken talk again. It's just a really exciting part of my time right now. I spent a great deal of time this afternoon out with the horses as well. And Val is doing so well that she has moved herself up to second in rank in the herd, and Talus is number one. And that is hilarious to me because when she was at the JL North, she was at the very bottom. I know that she feels good, and that's making a huge difference. But it is something interesting to watch that she's like, I feel great and I'm second. Talus, you can still be in charge if you want to. Just know that I'm here. And that's been a really wonderful thing. We have a lot going on in the thought process around the horses as we come to an end here in summer. And I am in the place where it doesn't rain anymore. It just doesn't rain. It rains everywhere else all around me, legitimately. I'm ending up with a bit of a dry lot. I have a weed situation that has to be taken care of. And part of my plan was when we hit fall, the cooler months, that the horses would all go to the JL North and we would treat both sides of the pasture and get rid of the weeds. And that still is the plan, but I'm feeling a little bit more pressured to do it a little bit sooner than I thought. Yet I also am scared to do it because I have just a really wonderful routine / dynamic here. They love the shade. They love the barn and the fans in the barn. We did some manipulating this past weekend to the barn to open up some walls, get rid of the mucky hay that was in there. We put an automatic waterer out there. Like, there's a lot going on. Now, there is nothing wrong with dry lotting horses. Many people do it. Many people do it. Many people do not have just pastures of, free range. Is it natural for horses to graze? Sure, when that's available. But big horses like Val and Talus and Roman, they need more than just the graze because they burn more calories grazing than they take in. So some of that, especially because Roman and Val are seniors. Talus is pretty much a senior as well. So I'm sort of torn because nutritionally, they're getting the nutrition that they need here. But and like I feel like they have a good routine, they feel comfortable, they feel safe, they have the shelters to utilize, like all of those things. Um, but I also know that there's a lot of grazing to be done at the other property, and I don't know why. I'm scared of the change. I'm scared of the dynamics change. I'm scared of I initially said that Bucky's wouldn't be able to leave here, but even as I tried to put him one day on the other side of the pasture with Ivy to like let him heal from this last bout of like what he did to his neck, he freaked out. It wouldn't even be one day. So taking him out of the herd is not an option. That is his herd. He will go with the herd. He's been to the jail north before. It just there was no barn, so that's a minor change. He will adapt. He has Ivy. He also is very close with Storm, and believe it or not, he's also very close with Val now, which is kind of funny. So I'm gonna watch the weather over the next week or so. I think that we're also in like prime hurricane season. And while this pasture is pretty dry and running out of grass and all those things, like they don't need the grass to sustain themselves nutritionally right now. Like I'm supplementing with alfalfa. They also have dry hay, and then they also get grain plus supplements. They don't hide in the barn all day long. I'm reading the comments. They do stay in there for the heat of the day because they love the fans. They make their way out front in the mornings early on. Storm and Bucky's and Prim will get into the pond. Prim not nearly as much as Storm and Bucky's. And I just I'm torn. The other part of it is like their care. Um, taking them over there really means that I will drive every single day as well as much as I can. And I'm not afraid to do that. That's not the point here. It just is very reassuring to me to be able to walk out before I go to bed and do a roundup check on everyone. Like I said, their routine is hilarious. They will stay out and about until 5:30 in the morning, and at 5:31 they go to the barn. And then when I wake up at 6, they come out and are ready to eat. And I think that's hilarious to me because why did they go to the barn? Like, to make me believe that they've been in the barn all night waiting to eat? I don't know. But, they do spend the heat of the day in the barn, and the jail north, while we have a, solar generator in there, it doesn't do enough to be able to hook up fans like this barn has. So, we would need to expand the electric out there still, and that's a project that we have on the list. We did expand the water out there, and I told Lester about the automatic waters and how nice that the one that we have is. There's always going to be more to do. And I'm not going to say they're not going to spend all winter, it's not like that. It's just like I was really hoping for a little bit longer, like till September-ish or something like that for them to be able to stay here. So we'll see how fast things go. There's a lot going on in the next, 2 months basically, but at the end of the day, we'll always do what's best for the animals. It's not about me, it's not about Lester, it's literally about what's best for the animals. I do think about the winter and that, the stables there at the jail north will be perfect, and we'll also have a place to store all the blankets and you know all of those things. But we have a little bit of work to do with digging a trench for the electric that has to be run out there and just some other things. So it may be a few more weeks. It's still like 100 degrees. I don't want to move them in the 100-degree heat if I can avoid it at all. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on. I know Lester has some stuff going on with bulls and of course babies being born, and I don't want to cause big disruption around that. And then I also know that we have treatment of pastures that needs to happen. Like this is about to become a little bit of a busy time. In addition to, we're only like, is it 3 or 4? I think it might be 4 weeks. Let me look at my calendar here. 3 or 4 weeks away from going to, let's count here. So we are 1, 2, 3 weeks away from Stephanie and I going to Alabama for the Great Fall Garden Festival. Is that? I'm horrible. I don't even know what it's called. Hold on a second. The Great. Oh my gosh, Jamie Walker, pull it together. The Great Fall Garden Festival. I was right. Okay. So we're 3 weeks away from that event, which does mean leaving. And I know, hold on a second, I got to back it up here. People are freaking out like, why would you hatch chickens and have all these extra things for Lester to take care of while you're going to be gone? Chickens aren't hard to take care of. They're so easy. And it's not like adding another horse. You got to pick out their feed, and it's nothing like that. Chickens are easy. Food, water, clean, simple. It'll be okay. I promise. Plus, I'll do it before I leave, and they should be fine until I get back as far as cleaning everything out, and it'll just be food and water. And I'll put enough in there that it's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine. So, but the Petals from the Past Great Fall Garden Festival and a road trip with Steve. Oh my gosh. So fun. I started to look at the route. I almost said route. Is it route or route? What do you say? That's the question of the day. Route or route. I started to look at the path we will travel and think about which way is a more fun, adventurous way. I think I want to go north. So it's the same exact time and it's the same distance. And you can either from here go up to Shreveport and cross over, or you can go down to Beaumont and then take Interstate 10 across the southern part. Now, Lester and I took the southern route, okay? And when we went to Cog Hill, and that is whenever we pulled the RV back. Interstate 10, specifically across all those bayous and things in Louisiana, was like like it was rough, really rough. Interstate 10 is not amazing by any means. It's very narrow. There's generally a lot of construction. There's a lot of truck drivers, all of that. So I kind of think that we'll go north. The only thing is that's also an interstate. I kind of want to take a back road, not a dirt road, but 2-lane highway. But I've never been to Shreveport and I've never been that way. So I feel like that would be a Steve and Jamie adventure that would be completely figure it out together and nothing that either one of us know. And then I haven't told Steve this yet. I intend to take her to a real casino. She's only been to a little gambling spot, I think, on this last trip with her and Buddy that wasn't big casino with the big glamorous oh my gosh wow factor. I want to take her. And I know that they're everywhere in Shreveport and they're also everywhere in Lake Charles and in New Orleans, both of which we would be passing through. But I'm driving the RV. So I feel like Shreveport is better. I don't know. Has anybody driven either of those ways on their route or route? I see everybody responding to my question. Yeah. Oh, Wendy, you're coming. That's going to be so fun. I'm nervous. I've never done anything like this. I go to work conferences all the time. I've been the speaker at the work conferences. Work is work. This is meeting people I've been talking to for years that I've just never met in person. It's almost like what I imagine people feel like in an online dating situation. I feel like I'm signing up to meet y'all on our first date. No joke. Somebody says, I need y'all to bring me a puppy. You got to talk to Steve about that. That is not a Jamie decision. Kathy says, I did the Route 10 to Texas. It wasn't fun. Yeah. Steve will be with me. Yes, she will. And Steve's gonna have her own people that can't wait to meet her. It's gonna be so fun. It's my first girls trip in a really long time. Like, we haven't even done day things. You know, we've, like, grabbed lunch, like, once a year, but it's like I told Steve, "I might snore." She goes, "It's okay, Buddy does too." And I was like, "Whew. Okay, well, you fall asleep first." I don't feel like I do typically, but in the RV, when I'm that exhausted, maybe. And I feel like I should call that out before you invite someone along with you to sleep in the same space as you for 3 weeks. I guess worst case scenario, I could put her up at a hotel and I could sleep in the parking lot. That's fine too. But I think it's going to be really fun. And the adventure along the way should be outstanding. Of course, she can drive an RV too, so that, makes it better. But I can't wait to meet y'all. I can't wait to go interact with all the other YouTubers that are going. Of course, it's Petals from the Past, a place I've been following for many years and watching Jason getting all this education from the garden from. Like, I can't tell you how much I have learned. It's unbelievable. So, to make this like full circle moment for me, I'll be like totally fangirling, and I'm really excited. The weird part is many of those YouTubers have like things they produce to sell, to showcase, to talk about. Not me. Hi, I'm Jamie. It's just me. That is what you're gonna get. And I just kind of hope that we can all like, move along the festival together. I'm not setting like they're like, are you gonna set up a booth? I'm not that person. No. I'm just going. So maybe we could all shop together and whatever the case is, but I have no plans. I have no restrictions. It's unsupervised and it's going to be a good time. So 3 weeks and like 1.5 day away. Super exciting. Plus to see Brooke. I hope Mary Carl comes. I have a lot of questions for Mary Carl. And then also, I have not reached out to Brooke yet, but if there were any chickens that Brooke wanted to get in on in the Underground Railroad of Texas chickens, I am happy to peddle chickens, bring some along. Perhaps we could trade these. That's also a thing. I had someone the other day was like, if you have any alpaca poop, I'll trade you that for a chicken. And I was like, well, this is gonna work out great, actually. So I will probably Mary Carl not going. Dang it. I wonder if I message Mary Carl and be like, but I have birds to bring you. We'll see. We'll see. Fonda says Jamie's going to be a chicken peddler, probably. I'll at least be an egg peddler. I think that's probably where I will probably find the most success is in hatching eggs, not hatching them myself. I'll still hatch some myself, but I think that I will find the most capabilities of selling. I'm yawning. Of selling fertile eggs. And when we get down that path, there'll be all kinds of like segregating that I have to do, and we're not there yet. Nobody's that old. I could be called a chicken peddler, maybe. We'll see. All right, let's go through some questions here. Catherine from G&G Farms. I don't know Catherine from G&G Farms. I will have to ask. And because Brooke and Tracy know, it's Brooke and Tracy, right? And there's one more from Head Family Farm. I can remember her name. They know people, like they know everybody personally. Maybe I ask and be like, hey, I can make a trip to Seabreeze for anybody if we need to before we go. Selfishly, I want to go back, but happy to do it on behalf of the greater good of the Underground Chicken Railroad people. happy to do that. So, all right. How's Ernie? Ernie's doing okay. He's doing okay. I got to spray him down this afternoon. My video tomorrow is much different than anything that I have been videoing for a while, and I got to be able to showcase some of those things for you. But I don't think that Ernie made it in it actually. He was out laying out in the shade. They have a special spot where they like to lay. Um, the Sopranos Chicken Edition, Marie, you're right. Oh, see, that would be fun to like pick a few shows and name chickens after shows. Like there has to be a John Dutton in my life at some point in time, but he has to be like pretty dang handsome and powerful. I'll save that name and the group of Yellowstone people. There has to be a Beth. There has to be a Beth. We'll work on that. Oh, Zoe from Chestnut Hills will be there. That is awesome. I love Zoe. What a wonderful human. There's so many wonderful humans in this network of people that will be there in Alabama. I can't wait to interact with them. I'll probably cry because it turns out that's part of my We Do Not Care Club thing is to just, peak every single emotion. Uh, you know. Oh, Sanders says we have to have a rip. Oh, we do have to have a rip. Yep. Also, I will save the Yellowstone characters for a special clutch of characters here. But we do have to think of some names for my little Kiki rooster and his little partner. I started making videos of the chickens I got. I didn't go crazy. It seemed like I went crazy, but we had things separated by like size and other things in the car. It wasn't that crazy. But I did come home with 2 very rare lioness chickens. I said that. Lioness. Lioness chickens is what I came home with. 2 hens. And if you watched today's video, you saw the ones that were in Melinda's hands, and they are so fun and funny. Like they are characters, and Sam, the red-headed rooster, is like super invested in them. He really, really, really likes the new girls. I'm terrified of naked necks. Yeah, that's really horrible to say, but it's true. They kind of freak me out a little bit. And Lester did make me lunch today. If you didn't watch his video, you absolutely should. He made a live this morning and did something really sweet for me. And I hate to admit this. I told him already. It was the best meal he's ever made me. Hands down. And he's made several different meals. It wasn't because I was that hungry. It was delicious. It was seasoned right. It had fresh jalapenos in it that I have a sweet jalapeno, which he happened to pick that. And maybe it's because it was also small. But I'm telling you, I wish that he would have used the rest of the eggs on the counter to make more. I wouldn't have even needed all the tortillas. He could cook that any day and I would eat it. It was so good. So good. And yeah. It was delicious and very thoughtful and funny. So in today's meetings for work and tomorrow, it should have been a in-person conference, but they chose to make it virtual for all kinds of reasons instead. And because it was virtual, our boss sent out an email and says, hey, everybody gets a $25 lunch allowance. You can have lunch brought in. Well, there's nothing that delivers out here. Like nothing at all delivers. And it certainly wouldn't be for $25. So Lester was like, I'll deliver you lunch for $25. And I was like, sounds good. That'll be great. I thought he was joking. I got off of my calls and ready for lunch, and he had food ready and had made a video. He went out and got eggs from the coop, which were incredibly I can't speak tonight. Incredibly fresh. And then he got peppers from the garden that he cut up. He grabbed bacon and cheese. And I know that that doesn't sound like anything glamorous, but the combo and the amount that he used, oh my God, they were good. They were so good. I'm trying really hard to be low carb right now, like super extra hard, and God bless America, I'm not good at it. It's really hard. I'm only on day 2, and I kind of want to do some little bit, just a little bit. But I only ate half of a tortilla and the rest I just ate the insides out, and it was so good. Maybe it was cuz he made it for me. Maybe that's just part of it, but yeah. He even ate one, he said. So, anyway. All right. Any other beef sticks and cheese for snacks? Yes. So I brought home some sausage from up north from my brothers that they make their sausage, and Xander. And I've been eating some string cheese. I do a little bit of cashew, not a lot, just like 3 or 4 a day. It kind of just helps me have something crunchy. But I had done low carb in the past, and I felt really good when I got past the 2-week mark. That 2-week mark, though, getting there is a little bit more challenging the more aged that I am, but I'm going to do it. I did not get Miss Pat any chickens. I did not ask anyone before I left. I just sort of went to Seabreeze and just was like, I'll see what I see and see what it's like. And I didn't know if they would let me make a video or anything like that. And I didn't know what I would come home with. I knew one thing that I wanted to come home with, but I didn't know what else I would find. And on my way back, I messaged her and I was like, if you ever need any other chickens, I think you should go here. And she messaged me tonight. She goes, I watched her video and I made myself an appointment. That's how you actually get to go to Seabreeze Hens, is to make an appointment. Somebody says, no low carb on the road trip. I'm going to try to be good on the road trip. We'll see. I'm in love with carbs. And I don't know. I've tried this in the past to like really behave, but then I sort of give up because something happens and I get stressed and I just walk to the pantry. But I want to feel better right now. And I'm trying really hard to be the best version of myself and lose a little bit of weight before my grandbaby comes, be a little bit more nimble and, take some pressure off of joints and things like that. And just trying to be more active, which is challenging when you have 14 hours of Zoom calls in one day, but we'll see. We'll absolutely see. So thank y'all for joining me tonight on Timeout Tuesday. Sorry to give you the roller coaster of emotions, but seems to be who I am these days. I am so grateful that you give me the greatest gift of all, which is your time. And I hope that you hold on to that currency for the value that it is, and that you distribute it accordingly, and that you spend your time in places that make you happy and feel fulfilled and make you feel the way that you want to feel. I know that Lester is at the JL North. I hope that he's going live tonight to show you the things that he's been working on over there. And I just am really grateful that you genuinely listen to me when I can't wait to listen to you. I hope to see some of you in a few weeks, but between now and then, I promise that there are some really neat videos and some really fun projects coming. And I think you're going to like some of the things that I'm doing around here. So I love you so very much. I hope that you stay safe and that you stay well. And I will catch you on the next video. Go on, get up there. Let's rewind this.
She logs off late from a long day's call, solving problems, juggling it all. When the day is done and the sun goes down, she trades a job for the open ground. There's hay to haul and stalls to clean, a muddy path where her soul feels seen. It's not just chores, it's something more. It's the dream she's always been working for. From suits to boots, from desk to dirt, she's proven what a dream is worth. You don't need fame, you don't need praise, just a will to give and a heart that stays. She's got spreadsheets open by morning light, with horses waiting come early night. She's not chasing gold or a spotlight gleam, she's just living out her kind of dream. Long days, sore hands, and early starts, but the work she does with heart. 'Cause when you earn it with your time and sweat, you never live with the one regret. So don't you wait for the perfect day. Find your fire and lead the way. You can thrive in both your worlds, wearing strength like a strand of pearls. From suits